Hi, thanks for joining. I'm Dr. Jamika, and we are still in the midst of our 30 days of radical healing. I'm still very excited about it. Today, we're talking about radical healing from social media. I know, right? We are on social media, right? YouTube is social media. And here I am telling you how we're going to get healed from it. Well, there's a reason for that. Make sure you like this video right now and subscribe to this channel for more information and videos on radical healing and a whole bunch of other things. So why do I feel like we need to be healed from social media? Because everyone is using social media and they're using it a whole bunch. Actually, when you look at the research says that on average, people in this country spend at least 2 hours and 20 minutes a day on social media. That's a lot of time. That's a whole lot of time. That's more than a good movie. 2 hours and 20 minutes is probably like 2 movies, actually. It may be like a really good date. It's a damn good nap. That's how I quantify it. But 2 hours and 24 minutes is a very long time. Now, if you look specifically at those numbers, what you'll find is that most people on social media, now, of course, that varies by age, most people are using Facebook. And then, of course, if you look at the other ones, they're kind of falling under that, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, they're all falling under that. However, that is all dictated based on age and demographics, right? So, social media has a lot of good. I can definitely remember a time when social media was not a thing. We didn't have it. We didn't have internet. We didn't have personal computers. We didn't have email, all of that. So social media has just come about since I've been an adult. And there are some really good things about it. Like, it is very good to stay in touch with your friends and your family from all across the world. It's excellent for that. It's also excellent for a lot of other reasons. However, there are some downsides, which is why we are here to talk about the downsides. First, I want to bring to you a quote from Teddy Roosevelt, which says, "Comparison is the thief of joy." This is a very popular quote. I'm sure you heard it before. I wholeheartedly agree with the quote. I use it a lot. I talk to my patients about it a lot because I believe that it has a place in this discussion. Why do people compare each other so much on social media? So while I say that there are some good things about social media, such as keeping in touch with friends and family, the downside is that people end up using it to compare. That is the one thing that I don't like about it. And what happens when we compare our lives to the lives of the people we know? Yep, you got it. We tend to hate our lives. We tend to then become dissatisfied with certain aspects of our life. Like, oh, I don't look like I should look. Oh, I should be traveling more than I'm traveling. Oh, I should have more friends. I should be having a better time. My life is not as exciting as the other people's lives that we see on social media, right? So we think. Now, we all know of something called, stunting for the gram. So you can also stunt for the book, stunt for the chat, and everybody else. So lots of times people are fabricating these situations just to take a picture, just to post it, and just to have everyone comment or see it. But usually, or sometimes at least, that's not really their life. So again, remember the quote, comparison is the thief of joy. Thief meaning it will come in and steal your joy. So you could have been sitting there having a wonderful day. You know what? I'm loving my life. I love my car, and my car is riding nice. It smells good. It's clean, riding smooth. And then you click on Instagram and see somebody else with a nicer car. And then you're like, you know what? My car is not so damn good. That is the thief of joy, which is why I don't really care for social media as much as some of my other peers. I like it because it does help me to stay in contact with my friends and family, but I really don't like the other aspects of it. So, what are some other things about social media? Today I'm going to talk to you about 3 disadvantages of using social media, 3 different ones. And of course, if I had time, I could probably come up with about 10 other ones. But I don't have that much time, and I don't want to take that much of your time. So I'm going to focus on just 3 of those disadvantages today. But one thing before that I need to tell you is that studies have shown that the higher the social media use, the higher the depression. So in other words, the more that people use social media on a daily basis, the higher their rates of depression. And I think that's a really significant reason to not use so much social media, because Who wants to be depressed? Who wants to have higher rates of any mental illness, especially with something that can be controlled, such as social media use? So 3 disadvantages. First disadvantage of using social media is that it increases comparison, right? I just mentioned this. The more that people stay on social media and the more that they use social media, the more that they find themselves comparing them and their lives to others, right? So all of a sudden now they're looking at themselves more in the mirror. They're wondering if they look exactly as they need to look, if they are making enough money, if they are traveling and going the right places, if they're hanging out at the right places, if they have the car, the clothes, the friends. Everything begins to be a comparison. And you know what? It makes it very difficult to be grateful and appreciate the life that you have if you're spending your time looking at other people and comparing yourself to that. So the second disadvantage, make sure you tune in to part 2 of these videos for Radical Healing for Social Media, part 2, so that you can find out my number 2 and my number 3 disadvantages, and then what you need to do about it in order to heal from it. Because remember, we're still talking about radical healing. Make sure you tune in part 2 for the rest of it and the solutions.